Big news coming in there. The verdict is out. 5 people have been convicted. They have been pronounced guilty for carrying out the train blasts. Names of the 5 convicted in the 7/11 case are Kamal Ansari, Faisal Sheikh, Ehtisham Siddiqui, Naved Hussain and Asif Khan. In fact, the serial blast had killed more than 180 people and had injured more than 100. So this is the latest bit of information that we're coming. 5 convicted for the 7/11 train blast that killed more than 180 people. Special court there pronouncing the verdict. Our correspondent Kamlesh Sutar has been getting us the very latest outside the special Mukoka court. Kamlesh, if you could just fill in us with more details, what more information do we have about these people who have been pronounced guilty for carrying out those deadly train blasts?
Well, Avantika, let me first break this news that the number of convicts now is 12 out of the 13. 12 have been 12 people have been convicted. So earlier it was 5 people, as we were reporting. Now the number of convicts stands at 12. 12 people have been convicted in the 7/11 terror blast, and one accused, Abdul Sheikh, has been acquitted. We'll have to wait for the ground of acquittal, but all the 12 accused, I'll just read out the names for the benefit of our viewers. Kamal Ansari, Dr. Tanvir Ansari, Faisal Sheikh, Majid Shafi, Sohail Sheikh, Sajid Ansari, Mohammad Ali, Ehtisham Siddiqui, Zamir Sheikh, Muzammil Sheikh, Naved Hussain and Asif Khan, Bashir Khan. All these 12 have been convicted for their role in the 7/11 serial blast, one of the most dastardly terror attacks that Mumbai has seen. And all of these were involved into the planning, the conspiracy, planting of bombs, doing recce, a larger role. They had got training from Pakistan. Some of them were accused of bringing in the explosives. Remember, the use of explosives was very crucial in this case, and that was perhaps the crucial leads that led to finding the module of the blast. It was a blast carried out in the peak hours, resulting in maximum damage of lives in Mumbai and the local trains. Use of RDX and ammonium nitrate was perhaps the clue that initially started the entire investigation, and that's where the module was found out, where the cops were able to get through to the entire conspiracy and the people behind the attack. For now, the news that we are getting in from the session court is that 12 people have been accused for their role and carrying out the 7/11 terror attack in Mumbai.
Okay, do we know anything about the quantum of punishment? They have been convicted, but any idea as to what next after this?
Well, the quantum hasn't been announced as yet. The judge has just pronounced them guilty. They've convicted him just a while before. Now, whether the quantum of punishment would be coming on along with this is what remains to be seen. But it seems that once the order is pronounced, the judge will take a call whether it is to be immediately announced, the quantum of punishment is to be immediately announced, or it will come in another installment, or maybe in the later of the day, or some other time. But for now, the judge has read out the verdict. 12 people out of the 13 accused who were in the who were arrested by the APL, who were accused of carrying out these blasts in Mumbai on the 11th of July. 12 of them have been convicted for their role in the serial blast that took place in Mumbai.
What about the one accused who has been acquitted? On what grounds has he been let off, Kamlesh?
Well, the exact grounds are not out as yet. Our correspondent in the court, Vidya, she would be reporting about the exact grounds in a time from now. But let me also tell you about the various various challenges that were faced by the prosecution. One of them primarily being the CDR, the call data reports that were submitted by some of the accused, saying that they were not around the area. They were not even present in and around that area when these blasts took place. That was perhaps one of the most key submissions given by the accused in this case, and perhaps that might have worked in their favor. Also, the confession that was given, that was also challenged by the defense team several times, saying that the confession has been coerced out of these accused, forcibly taken. So that also would remain to be seen. How much role did that play in the entire case that turned out? Whether that was one of the factors that was responsible for this acquittal We'll be reporting that very soon. But for now, 12 people who were involved actively in carrying out the blast, be it the conspiracy, planning the blast, holding meetings for the blast, bringing an explosive, doing recce of the blast, carrying out recce, planting the bombs, and the actual role that they played. They have been convicted for that under section 302 of IPC. That's what we are learning at this point in time. 12 people convicted under section 302, beg your pardon, of the Indian Penal Code.
But what about the written submissions by the accused that, the ATS had falsely implicated them and that, a confession was taken them after they were subjected to custodial torture? So will the court take cognizance of that? I know they've already been convicted, but what about all of that?
Well, that hasn't worked, it seems, in the court. They had given a submission in the court that they have not given any submission. They had retracted the confession that was given, saying that the confession that they have given was forcibly taken from them. They have been coerced to give a statement, and it was only after they had alleged that they had given the confession after a brutal torture inside the lockup that they had faced. But that doesn't seem to have worked in their favor. The court taking no cognizance of that, and in fact, had that been taken notice by the court here, this verdict this would have affected the verdict. But that hasn't seemed to have worked, with the court convicting 12 of the 13 accused. Most of them had given that submission to the court, but that doesn't seem to have worked altogether.
Well, clearly, Kamlesh, the ATS who were heading the investigations, it's a clear vindication for their efforts as well, with the kind of questions that were raised to the discrepancies that plagued the investigation from the very start.
Well, indeed, as just a while before, KP Raghuvanshi was telling our channel, and one important point that he mentioned was that the biggest challenge before the ATS was to gather some forensic evidences in this case. Generally, in such types of blasts, the explosives that go unexploded, they certainly lead give some leads to the investigation. But when this blast took place, if you remember, it was raining heavily in Mumbai. It was in the month of July, and during peak hours that these bombs were planted inside local trains, first-class compartment of local trains, and due to heavy rains, there was a fear that most of the evidences that they could have relied upon could have been washed away. But it was certainly the ATS said that they've got hold of certain evidences that perhaps would lead them to the exact module that could have been active in carrying out these blasts. And as I mentioned earlier, also the use of RDX and the use of ammonium nitrate that perhaps helped them to find the exact module, and which terror organization, which terror outfit generally uses this model. Remember, Avantika, let me also tell you, initially when the pressure cooker theory was put in by the agencies, that was struck down on not once but almost on 3 occasions, and that perhaps also would have been another challenge. But all the evidences put together, be it the forensic evidences that the cops have gathered, and also the confessional statements, and all the other circumstantial evidences that they have been able to put together, has led to the conviction of 12 people out of these 13 accused. They are accused of they are convicted under section 302, and as we have said, that the role that they played, including planting the bombs. The first list that came in of 5 accused, they were the actual planters. They had planted the bombs inside the first-class compartment of the local train, and the bombs exploded, resulting in maximum damage of life and property there. Almost 188 people died in that blast. So perhaps the first list came in, and the other 5 convicted who came in, the list came in, they were also accused of conspiracy, planning and carrying out the blast. Avantika.
All right, Kamlesh, just stay with us. In fact, let's just hear what KP Raghuvanshi, who was rather heading the Maharashtra anti-terrorism squad at that time and the investigations, had to say a short while back.
You mentioned in just now, they all are the planters. They are the people who had participated along with the Pakistanis to plant the bomb. Not only planter, they were in the case from the beginning, including conspiracy, wrecking, making of the bomb. They are involved in all activity, even identifying the place also.
Right. Mr. Raghuvanshi, there were several questions, and discrepancies in the versions of the investigators at that time. What do you have to say about that, and why has it taken so long, for these people to have been convicted?
Vicky, if you look at the whole thing, whatever evidence we collected, whatever material we had, we have put before the court. Now, court has appreciated the evidence and reached to some conclusion. No, after that, I don't think I'm required to comment anything about controversy, so-called whatever you mentioned. Secondly, you mentioned about the delay. More than 4 years delay was caused by culprits themselves. They were running from here to there. They were creating all the problem. They were showing. They said that they don't have faith in the judge. Then demanding the change of the judge. Almost 1 year was wasted in that. Then they took the stay from the Supreme Court about.
After 8 long years, now this ruling has come in from the special Makoka court. We have with us Kamla Malwani, who is a relative of one of the victims. Ma'am, thank you so much for speaking to us on India Today. Your reactions after that news came in that 12 people have now been, convicted for the most horrific train blast that Mumbai had to witness.
I tell you now only the words has left, nothing. What after so many years we are going to get whatever justice? Is it denied justice? We are forcefully getting justice, I think so. Not that way. The people, 22 years, whatever they have suffered, and after so many years, today still we are forcing to give them punishment, do something for them, because these are not the words left. What we are going to gain? Nothing. This court is okay. We are going to say in the future that justice has come up. But what justice? Those suffered, many of them, they died also. So what justice? Where justice?
Absolutely, ma'am. Understandably, nothing can really compensate for the kind of loss that each one of you had experienced. Yeah. But do you feel a sense of closure in the wake of this judgment that has come out?
Okay, somewhere we think, chalo bhai, justice milta hai Hindustan mein. Like that we are going to say. But whatever the forcefully or the peacefully, what we are getting. That way we have to say what else, nothing else, no left. I think so. It's my personal opinion.
Ms. Malwani, what about the compensation? I believe that at that time when the blast occurred, there was a lot of promises made, a lot of assurances also that was made by the government. How have you felt all these years and, other people who were witness to those horrific blasts? Have you been, satisfactorily compensated by the authorities?
You're asking me?
Yes.
Not a bit. I think they are the one, they have given us a promise and they not fulfilled their promise, and those whom we don't know, they're blaster, and because of the government is there, and we didn't get anything. I tell you, I'm using that word also. Sharad Pawar, what is it? He took the file and said, we are going to give you 5 lakhs. In the end result, they say, lost your file. Is this possible? Your file is not going to be lose anywhere, but our file lost.
Ms. Malwani, is this the case with other victims as well also, the other families who lost their loved ones in those train blasts?
From the building which Malkani Mahal we belong, so they decided, because building has destroyed, so they are going to fulfill whatever the compensation. They didn't do anything. So what? No, nothing. Everything is the same. I think justice is taking 22 years, and then these people are not given the bit of them. And you people are asking, media is asking, the justice has done justice. Okay, I can't say that also.
No, ma'am, I was just asking, how are you feeling about, the pronouncement of that verdict? We're just also getting to hear that the hearing on the quantum of sentencing in this particular case will take place on the 14th of September. That's the latest bit of news coming in. So, ma'am, the quantum of punishment is only going to be pronounced on 14th September. I would never want you to recall the horrors of that particular day. But, in all these years, what really have you been experiencing? What kind of assurances and support have you got, if any,
no from, support, no assurance, nothing.
From nobody at all?
security where? Otherwise, bomb would have not blast, no? The security would be there, then the bomb would not be blast. And you know, my family members is telling me don't talk because now also we are not in under security, because if you are going to talk and they are the police people, are they their family, maybe they'll accuse you that you are, because of you are, we are getting family members are getting punishment. Like this is happening also, na? You know the more better than me.
And ma'am, do you think things have changed, you know, after those train bomb blasts that happened in the year 2006, or are the state of trains the usual? Because, you know, the suburban railway services in Mumbai, the local network is the lifeline of Mumbai.
Security has come up and then things are different.
You say things have changed for the better?
Yeah, change has come. Change here, there, and maybe when they are punished, they maybe other people get scared of not doing anything. That is also true. But still, what we have gone through, we have not benefited from the government anything.
Absolutely. Nothing could compensate for the kind of tragedy that most of the victims had experienced as a result of that train blast that took place on July 11, 2006. Ms. Kamla Malwani, thank you so much for speaking to us. And these are the scenes that you're seeing outside the Makoka court. And we can see hectic activity out there, a huge presence of media after that announcement of the verdict, where 12 people rather, I stand corrected there, 12 people have been held guilty for planting the bombs that exploded in the first-class compartments of Mumbai's local trains during peak hours on the evening of July 11, 2006. Live visuals there outside the Makoka court. We're just getting to hear that the quantum of punishment would be pronounced only on the 14th of September. Right now, only 12 people out of the 13 accused have been convicted. In fact, one has already been acquitted, but the 12 have now been Hiren Desai. All right, I'm getting to hear my producers telling me that we have with us on the phone line Hiren Desai. He was also one of the victims of the very tragic incident that took place in the year 2006. Hiren, thank you so much for speaking to us on India Today. Your first reactions after the news of these 12 people being held guilty for those terror attacks?
The police department and the media has worked very fast this time. It was 93, decision came very late over here there, but this 2006, this came very fast. And the department of police and the media has gone in a very good way. I congratulate them for the thing. And the judiciary has also worked very fast.
Mr. Desai, first of all, I appreciate those compliments there. Thank you so much. But do you feel a sense of closure following that verdict?
Sense of?
Closure? Do you feel satisfied? Do you feel that, you know, this is the best thing that could have happened, that, you know, finally now these 12 people have been held guilty?
Finally, we have got the answer for all these people who is doing this wrong thing. So they could understand now that they will not be scared. We will take action, and now we are going to take action very fast.
How satisfied have you been with, you know, the course of investigations, because the trial has lasted 8 long years?
No, but I say it is better than the 93.
Right.
In 93, it came very recently, only last month, in 2015. This is 2006 in 2015. So 9 years. That was almost 24 years.
The charges which you were charged.
All right.
As far as the other accused are concerned, I must say that mainly they are found guilty of the offence under 120B, that is of conspiracy, read with 302 and 311 of the MCOC Act. So section 311 of the MCOC Act and 302 are the two sections which attract death penalty. The arguments on the penalty or the submissions about what sentences to be awarded will take place on Monday.
Sir, what is it that you are asking for? Sir, what is it that you
किस आरोपी को किया बरी?
जजमेंट आल्यानंतर त्याच्यामधनं कळेल एका आरोपीला का सोडलं ते.
सर हिंदी में बोलिए. मराठीमध्ये शॉर्टमध्ये टोटल किती आरोपी होते? किती आरोपींना
13 आरोपींपैकी एका आरोपीला सर्व आरोपातून दोषमुक्त केलंय. बाकी सर्व आरोपींना शिक्षा ठोकणार. गुन्हेगार म्हणून
कुठल्या कलमानंतर दोषी ठरवण्यात आले आणि शिक्षेचं काय केव्हा होणार आहे?
शिक्षेबद्दलचा युक्तिवाद हा सोमवारी केला जाईल आणि त्यानंतर मग काय शिक्षा द्यायची हे कोर्ट ठरवेल. It is no question of my being happy or unhappy. I want that the people at large should feel happy, and it is their opinion that really matters, because we are concerned with the death of so many persons, and so many innocent persons were very badly injured. Apart from the damage to the property, public property and other things, and the terror wave that had really shaken this metropolis.
सर हिंदी में बता दीजिए अभी पूरा वाकया क्या हुआ? कोर्ट ने आज कितने आरोपियों को गिल्टी किया, कितने बरी किया गया?
कुल जो 13 मुजरिम थे, उन 13 मुजरिम में से सिर्फ एक को छोड़ के
We're getting some audio problem there, but that's the big breaking news. 12 of the 13 men who allegedly are activists of the banned Students Islamic Movement of India have now been pronounced guilty for carrying out those deadly terror blasts on July 11th, 2006. It's been a long wait there for those who lost their loved ones, and that's the big story that we're focusing right here on India Today. A Maharashtra Control of Organised Crime Act court of Mokoka has convicted 12 accused in the 7/11 blast that rocked Mumbai 9 years ago. One person, however, has been acquitted. His name is Abdul Wahid Sheikh. He has now been let off. The quantum of sentencing will be announced on the 14th of September. The charge sheet in the Mokoka court was filed in November 2006. Conspiracy for the terror attack was hatched by Lashkar-e-Taiba, which claimed at least 188 lives, while more than 800 people received serious injuries as a result of those horrific train blasts that rocked Mumbai in the year 2006. A series of 7 blasts that were carried out in a period of just 11 minutes on suburban trains in Mumbai shook Mumbai. In a trial that lasted for over 8 years, now finally the verdict is out. The prosecution had examined more than 190 witnesses. The defense, in fact, had questioned several witnesses as well. But here we have it now. 12 people have now been pronounced guilty in the Mumbai blasts.
देखिए, मैं इसके बारे में इतना कहना चाहूँगा कि जो 288 लोग जिनकी जानें गई थी, 180 लोग 88 लोगों की जो जानें गई थी, करीब 900 लोग इंजर्ड हुए थे, बहुत सारे परिवार बर्बाद हुए थे, उनको न्याय मिल गया है, ऐसा मेरा मानना है।
बहुत से सवाल उठे थे, आप लोगों ने बड़ा टाइट केस बनाया था, आप लोगों ने कहा था कि कई बार सवाल उठे, विरोधाभास में ये कहा कि कहानी गलत है, कुछ और आरोपी आईएम वाले आ गए, काफी कुछ था, ट्विस्ट था मामले में, लेकिन आज लगता है कि उस पर मुहर लग गई आप लोगों की कहानी पे। क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप?
अभी आपने माननीय ट्रायल कोर्ट का जजमेंट सुना है, इससे साफ सिद्ध होता है कि एटीएस ने इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बाद में जो सब तथ्य कोर्ट के सामने रखे थे, कोर्ट उनसे कन्विंस हुई और जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन एटीएस ने महाराष्ट्र पुलिस ने किया था उस पर मोहर लगा करके माननीय न्यायाधीश ने न्याय देने का कार्य किया।
सर, थोड़ा समय लग गया, लेकिन 209 लोग जिनकी मृत्यु हुई थी, क्या आज उनको न्याय?
Our correspondent Kamlesh Suthar got a chance to speak to Sunil Deshmukh, who was one of the investigating officers in this case, and this is what Mr. Deshmukh had to say to Kamlesh.
The 7/11 verdict is out. Joining us now is the investigating officer of this case, Mr. Sunil Deshmukh. Deshmukh साहब, किस तरह की चुनौती रही है? पूरा ब्लास्ट बहुत बड़ा ब्लास्ट था और बहुत ऐतिहासिक फैसला आया है।
ये 7/11 का जो ब्लास्ट हुआ था, उस समय एटीएस नया फॉर्म हुआ था, वहाँ पे सिर्फ 20 अधिकारी उस समय काम कर रहे थे। ब्लास्ट होने के बाद में मुंबई सिटी से जो अच्छे इन्वेस्टिगेटर से उनको एटीएस में अटैच किया था और एक पूरी नई टीम बना के इस केस की तहकीकात की गई थी।
सर, फोरेंसिक एविडेंस का जहाँ तक सवाल है, बारिश का दिन था, वो बहुत चैलेंजिंग था। किस तरह से रहा, जरा बताएंगे विस्तार से हमें, किस तरह की चुनौतियाँ को सामना करना पड़ा पूरे पिछले 8 साल?
बारिश थी, काफ़ी लोग इंजर्ड थे, मर गए थे, लोगों ने क्राइम सीन पे भी बहुत डिस्टर्बेंस किए थे, फिर भी हमने वहाँ से सैंपल्स फॉरेंसिक्स एक्सपर्ट्स की मदद से जमा किए थे और उसकी बेसिस पे इस कौन सा मटेरियल यूज़ हुआ था ब्लास्ट में, उसकी हमने जानकारी ली थी।
आज जो फैसला आया है 12 लोगों के खिलाफ, कौन से ग्राउंड्स पर आया और किस तरह के उसके लिए आपने सबमिशन किया?
आज माननीय न्यायालय ने 12 आरोपियों को इंडियन पिनल कोड, एमसीओसी एक्ट, यूएपी एक्ट, रेलवेज एक्ट, डिस्ट्रक्शन टू पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टी एक्ट, इन सारे आरोपों के तहत दोषी पाया है। अलग अलग आरोपियों को अलग अलग कलमों के तहत दोषी पाया है।
तो कई बार उन्होंने रिट्रैक्ट किया था, स्टेटमेंट कहा कि जबरदस्ती हमसे स्टेटमेंट लिया जा रहा है, शायद कोर्ट ने उस बात की कोई दखल नहीं ली?
बिल्कुल ली होगी, माननीय न्यायालय ने दखल ली होगी और हमने उस कन्फेशनल स्टेटमेंट्स के बेसिस पे जो कॉरोबोरेटिव एविडेंस जमा किया था वो भी माननीय न्यायालय ने विचार में लिया होगा।
एक को एक्विट किया गया, उसके बारे में आप क्या कहेंगे?
वो जजमेंट पढ़ने के बाद में पता चलेगा कि उसको कौन से ग्राउंड्स पे एक्विट किया है।
Shukriya. So there you have it. The investigating officer of the 7/11 blast case saying that it was a challenging investigation, and now that the verdict has come in, they are happy with the verdict. With camera person Ganesh Tundale, Kamlesh Sutar in Mumbai for India Today.
We are concerned with the death of so many persons, and so many innocent persons were very badly injured. Apart from the damage to the property, public property and other things, and the terror wave that had really shaken this metropolis.
Our correspondent Vidya joins us for more. Vidya, this also comes as a huge, victory and an achievement for the ATS, because the investigations were constantly mired in several controversies as well.
In fact, there have been many questions that have been raised on the investigation. There were many who were raising the questions on the fact that the way ATS had handled this case, and the fact that 2 years from the investigation, Indian Mujahideen people were arrested. They were arrested for the pretext that they were the ones who had actually made the entire blast incident happen. But with this order coming in now, it's certainly the pat in the back of the anti-terrorist court officers. In fact, that's one of the reasons why Mr. Raghuvanshi himself, who had led the entire investigation as the head of came out in the open in the court today to accept the team that had actually investigated and come to a
Okay, we'll go to Vidya in just a bit, but a quick recap there for you. 12 men who allegedly are from the banned Simi group have now been convicted. In fact, there are 12 of 13 men accused of planting those bombs on Mumbai's local trades that killed over 188 people, injuring several others. 800 almost have now been convicted. However, one person has been acquitted in this particular case. The blast that ripped through the first-class compartments of Mumbai's local trains at rush hour on the evening, that is the case, and the verdict is now out. We just heard the lawyers speaking there. There was a lot of activity outside the Makoka Special Court that has pronounced the verdict. The quantum of punishment, however, is going to be given out only on the 14th of September. So a big victory, accomplishment and success there for the Maharashtra anti-terror squad that were investigating the case. This case has seen several turnarounds, many revelations, and what many would say lots of attempts to stall the proceedings by the accused as well. But finally there, the 12 people have been pronounced guilty of carrying about those deadly terror strikes at Mumbai's suburban trains. Big news coming in there. We also got a chance to speak to some of the victims. While some say, yes, justice has finally come after a long wait, others feel that a lot more needs to be done, and nothing really can compensate for the tragedy that they have been through and for all the ordeal that they have been through as a result of those deadly train explosions that rocked the western railways of Mumbai. It was 7 RDX bombs that had exploded in the first-class coaches of Mumbai's suburban trains. It was peak evening time. There was a huge rush hour. It was raining incessantly. It was the monsoon season of Mumbai in the year 2006. After a long trial of 8 years, finally the special Makoka court pronouncing 12 men guilty of committing that crime. I even got a chance to speak to the ATS chief at that time, KP Raghuvanshi. In fact, he has also managed to give now a sound bite to our reporters. Let's just listen in as to what he has to say about this verdict.
देखिए, मैं इसके बारे में इतना कहना चाहूँगा कि जो 288 लोग जिनकी जानें गई थी, 180 लोग 88 लोगों की जो जानें गई थी, करीब 900 लोग इंजर्ड हुए थे, बहुत सारे परिवार बर्बाद हुए थे, उनको न्याय मिल गया है, ऐसा मेरा मानना है।
बहुत से सवाल उठे थे, आप लोगों ने बड़ा टाइट केस बनाया था, आप लोगों ने कहा था कि कई बार सवाल उठे, विरोधाभास हुए, ये कहा कि कहानी गलत है, कुछ और आरोपी आईएम वाले आ गए, काफी कुछ था, ट्विस्ट था मामले में, लेकिन आज लगता है कि उस पर मुहर लग गई आप लोगों की कहानी पे। क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप?
अभी आपने माननीय ट्रायल कोर्ट का जजमेंट सुना है, इससे साफ सिद्ध होता है कि एटीएस ने इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बाद में जो सब तथ्य कोर्ट के सामने रखे थे, कोर्ट उनसे कन्विंस हुई और जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन एटीएस ने महाराष्ट्र पुलिस ने किया था उस पर मोहर लगा करके माननीय न्यायाधीश ने न्याय देने का कार्य किया।
थोड़ा समय
In fact, our correspondent Viren Singh Gunawat also managed to speak to the lawyers of one of the accused. Let's listen in as to what he has to say about this verdict that has come about and what will be the next step.
13 में से 12 आरोपी कन्विक्ट हो चुके हैं, उसमें से एक निर्दोष साबित हुआ है। इस वक्त हमारे साथ एक जमात एनजीओ के यहाँ प्रवक्ता है। एक चीज ये बताएं कि ये पूरा जो डायरेक्शन और डिसीजन आया उसको लेकर क्या कहेंगे?
उसको हमारे वकील से मशवरा लेने के बाद हम आगे जब तक पूरी पढ़ नहीं लेते वर्डिक्ट, जब तक हम लोग कुछ फैसला नहीं करेंगे।
13 में से 12 को आरोपी को उन्होंने कन्विक्ट कर दिया, एक को निर्दोष दिया और ये भी कहा है कि एक जो निर्दोष है उनके खिलाफ कोई भी एक्शन साबित नहीं हुआ है, लेकिन जो 12 है उनके खिलाफ थोड़ा बहुत एक्शन है। तो क्या कहेंगे इस पे आप?
जुडिशरी ने जो दिया उसके बाद में हम पेपर मिलने के बाद तमाम चार्ज उसके बाद हम फैसला करेंगे।
चलो, आपका क्या कहना है कि जिस तरह का जो आया है कन्विक्शन आया है, 13 में से 12 आरोपी साबित हो गए हैं, उनको सोमवार को उनको क्वांटम ऑफ पनिशमेंट सुनाया जाएगा, एक को निर्दोष घोषित कर दिया है, क्या कहेंगे आप?
अब इसके बारे में हम अपने वकीलों से मशवरा करेंगे और आगे क्या करना है हमको, उसके बाद ही कोई डिसीजन।
एनजीओ की तरफ से क्या भूमिका रहेगी? आप लोग किस तरह की तैयारी करेंगे आगे के लिए?
अब वो तो हम अपने लॉयर से मशवरा करने के बाद ही करेंगे।
क्या आप इससे नाराज है जिस तरह कन्विक्शन आया? क्योंकि काफी परिवार वो ये भी कह रहे हैं कि हमारे साथ इंसाफ नहीं हुआ है।
अब कोर्ट का फैसला है, उसके बारे में तो हम कुछ नहीं कह सकते, लेकिन हमको ये अधिकार है कि हम इस फैसले को अगली कोर्ट में चैलेंज करें, तो हम अपने लायरों से मशवरा करके चैलेंज करेंगे।
साफ तौर पे जो एनजीओ है जो इस पूरे सभी आरोपियों को नेतृत्व कर रहा है, उन्होंने ये कहा है कि हम इसे चैलेंज करेंगे। साफ तौर पे उन्होंने खुल के ये नहीं कहा है, लेकिन परिवार जो हमने उनसे बात की, उन्होंने ये कहा है कि परिवार नाखुश है। उन्होंने कहा है कि हमारे साथ इंसाफ नहीं हुआ है। कैमरा पर्सन मंगेश साहब के साथ वीरेंद्र सिंह गुनावत, मुंबई, आज तक।
All right, so the families of those who have been convicted now crying foul, saying that justice has not been delivered to them. And the lawyers saying that they will only study the verdict and then will decide the future course of action for all the 12 who have been pronounced guilty and have been convicted in the train blast case of Mumbai.